So, after decades and decades, the Star Wars franchise still is releasing movies. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for Star Wars. This one's going to be doing the discussion video. I wanted to hop on here and give my immediate reaction and general thoughts on the announcement recently that there is going to be 3 new Star Wars movies, continuing the Skywalker saga. So, very, very interesting stuff, man. I wanted to discuss this one because, I mean, Star Wars fans have been going crazy about this one. I've really had some words I wanted to say, so I kind of figured, I was like, well, I'm going to give my thoughts in the best way I possibly can with, of course, the information that we have, and I'm just going to put it this way. Why? Why? I'm not really sure what we're doing. I'm not really sure why we need to do more Star Wars movies. I mean, we all know how the sequels turned out. Now, obviously, there are some people out there that do like the Star Wars sequels, so if you like them, all the power to you, not dissing that at all. However, I personally, and I know a lot of other Star Wars fans, are not a fan of the sequel films. They are very low quality compared to the first 6 movies. I always, when I talk about Star Wars, I always like to think of it as there are 6 movies, and that the other 3 didn't happen, you know what I mean? But of course, a lot of things have happened since then, you know? There's been rumors that apparently Rey is going to be getting her own, like, trilogy, which apparently I've heard recently that might have even just gotten, like, canceled altogether. I'm not really sure what happened there, but apparently something to do with, you know, Rey and her story, and apparently something happened there where it's like not happening now or some crap like that. And here's the thing, I mean, I've mentioned this a few times before with Star Wars. I've mentioned it with Marvel as well. Disney is not a really good platform for these franchises because obviously they are, well, let's just put it this way: they're kind of wokeifying the projects. Let's put it that way. Ever since they've taken over, it's been very clear that they are wokeifying Star Wars. They are wokeifying Marvel, and they are making them very modern day writing. You know what I mean? With the message inside. You know, it's always the same type of stuff. So that's kind of why I've stayed clear of Marvel and Star Wars on at least Disney and Disney Plus's side of things, is because I'm not really into that whole kind of handling of a franchise. I think it's a really lame way to put a message out there, you know what I mean? I'm here for actual storytelling. I'm here for actual really good quality stuff, and the first 6 movies of Star Wars were that, you know what I mean? And OG Marvel was that, you know what I mean? Modern day Marvel, modern day Star Wars are not really focused as much as on the story as they are now just sending out a message for everybody, you know, and I think that's kind of the issue, and that's why I don't cover Star Wars and Marvel on the regular like I was more interested in doing a few years ago, is because I just don't find that, you know, modern day Star Wars and modern day Marvel are handled that well by Disney. I really don't think they are. You know, there was a new Venom movie that came out recently. I was like, oh my god, that looks horrible. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, besides a few exceptions like Deadpool and Wolverine, and, you know, there's a new Punisher, series coming out next year with Daredevil. Aside from that, I really don't think that this is any good. And Star Wars has really proved to me time and time again that they really are just trying to now focus on the sequel content. They're really trying to focus on the stuff that made Star Wars, you know, kind of sink to begin with. And now adding a extra trilogy to this franchise, I mean, I don't know what the hell is going to happen next. I really don't. But from what I've heard about this, and let's delve into a little bit of information now about some of the behind the scenes and some of the team behind this project. So for this trilogy of films, they've got Simon Kinberg, who is going to be, writing, producing, all that stuff. Simon Kinberg and Kathleen Kennedy. Now, okay, so, okay. Simon, on one hand, I think is actually pretty good. He's made Logan. He's done a lot of, big things. He's helped produce a lot of, X-Men films that were really good. But he's also produced some really bad X-Men films, and he's also produced a lot of really bad films as well, on the flip side. So with Simon, I'm going to go in open-minded because, Simon has done a lot of really great things, and I think he is really good at, writing when he puts his mind to it. However, Kathleen Kennedy, I mean, if you haven't heard some of the news about Star Wars recently, I'll be the one to kind of remind you a little bit. She wants to make men feel awkward, and she wants the power of women to take over everything. Which, this gets into kind of a touchy subject. I'm sure it gets into a kind of a rough one. But I'm gonna put it very simply. I love me a powerful female character in a franchise. We've had it for years in Star Wars. It's not a new thing. But when you do it to send out a message and when you shove it in our faces and when that's your only goal, that's when there's a problem. You know what I mean? Because, again, you can have a badass female all you want. I love to see it. You know what I mean? I think it's fantastic. But equally, also, give us badass male characters. There's no reason to single out one or the other. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with modern day, Star Wars. So, making a new trilogy of Star Wars, from what I've heard, this has nothing to do with Rey Skywalker, which, I mean, I guess you could take a W where you can get it, you know what I mean?
And it was a big old piece of trash.
Again, I don't hate Rey, I just don't think that she's really that great of a character at the same time, because I just didn't feel like the writing was all that good, simply. But I will say this. I mean, I do think that this will be an interesting thing because apparently it's still continuing the Skywalker, saga, right? So apparently it's a new character that we ain't seen before. Apparently it's something completely different. That's all I really know about this trilogy so far. But here's the thing. Will this actually happen? Will this go down? Or will this be like the Rey trilogy where, you hear about it for a little while and then nothing ends up happening? I mean, I guess that's always possible, you know what I mean? You never ever know what they're going to do. But I'll say this. Star Wars, I've been very impressed with Mandalorian. I've been very impressed with some of their projects when it comes to that. But a lot of their other things recently, I will have to admit, has not been my cup of tea. And I hope that this trilogy is not anything like movie 7 to 9. I hope that this is at least somewhat better, with no, Disney Plus crap that they like to throw in there. I hope that it's good storytelling. I hope that it's really good, and that be that. Now, for the flip side of this, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think this needs to happen at all. I always personally, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but Star Wars fans, let me know if you agree. I feel like Mandalorian was the proper sequel that we wanted for, Star Wars. I always enjoyed The Mandalorian. I felt like he was the proper sequel story that we always kind of, should have gotten. You know what I mean? And we're getting a movie on Mandalorian as well, too. So I don't really see the need to do another trilogy of Star Wars movies. But if I'm being honest, I think the only reason why they're doing this is because they want to get some extra money in their bank accounts. You know what I mean? Because it sells, right? So that is definitely why they're doing this. But let me know your opinions down below. That's my general thoughts on a new trilogy of Star Wars movies. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think of this Disney Plus, adaptation of Star Wars over the last few years? Acolyte and some of the other crap and cringe they've been coming out with. Do you think it's as bad as I'm making it out to be? Or do you think that it's actually really great quality? And again, make sure to, keep it respectful in the comment section and, share your opinions on Star Wars and the current state of the franchise. I don't do many videos on Star Wars, but I had to come on and do this one because this one definitely is, it's interesting for the future, to say the least. It definitely, it's green lighting a path, and that path could either go really good or really bad, so we'll have to see. But there's a trilogy, apparently, of new Star Wars movies coming out. So let me know your thoughts, post comments down below, and if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click to subscribe and tune miss any other videos for Star Wars. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos for Star Wars. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist. Beat world gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.